Hello guys, welcome to this UI UX course with Figma. Prepare for an exciting journey into the world of user interface and user experience design. Through hands-on projects and real-world challenges, you'll gain the skills to create exceptional interfaces that captivate and solve problems. Explore topics such as user research, wireframing, prototyping, and interaction design. Collaboration will be emphasized as you learn to work effectively with teams. Get ready to unleash your creativity and embark on a transformative learning experience. By the end of this course, you'll be equipped with the knowledge and confidence to excel in the dynamic field of UI UX design. Let's begin. We'll start off by looking at the difference between UI, which stands for user interface, and UX, which stands for user experience. First off, in the user interface, this refers to the visual elements and design of a digital product. It focuses on how the product looks and feels to the users. We'll then move on to use cases. Aspects of UI will start off with the visual design. And what visual design means, it deals with the aesthetics of the interface, including colors, typography, icons, and layouts. Or we'll come to examples. We'll give an example by saying, let's say we're choosing a pleasing color scheme, selecting appropriate fonts, creating visually appealing buttons. These all are under the examples of visual design. And the next use case, we'll move on to interaction design. Interaction design determines how users interact with the interface and how elements respond to user actions. We'll then move on to the example, which is designing intuitive navigation buttons, creating interactive buttons, incorporating animations and transitions in your app or web application. Then the third use case will be information architecture. This goes on to see how organization and structures of content within the interface for easy navigation and understanding. An example of this will be designing logical and user-friendly menus, creating a clear hierarchy of information, using effective labeling and categorization. There are more use cases to user interface design, but we're just going to focus on this three and move ahead to user experience. Like I said earlier, UX stands for user experience. This focuses on overall experience that users will have while interacting with your digital product. It encompasses various factors that influence how users perceive and engage with the product. We'll now move to use cases of user experience. We'll start off with user research. User research involves understanding the needs, behaviors, and preference of target users through surveys, interviews, and observation. An example of that will be conducting user interviews to gather feedback, analyzing user behavior using analytic tools, and creating user performance. User journey mapping, which will be the next use case. This visualizes the user's path from the beginning to the end of their interaction with the product, identifying pain points and areas of improvement. An example will be mapping out the steps a user takes to complete a purchase, or identifying potential obstacles in the user journey, or suggesting improvements to enhance usability. The third use case will be usability testing. This involves testing the products with users to uncover usability issues and gather feedback for improvement. An example will be conducting usability tests to observe how users navigate the interface, analyzing their feedbacks to identify areas of confusion or frustration, or iterating designs based on test results. Another real-world example is when Virgin Atlantic CEO Richard Branson traveled to space in his space shuttle to test how users would feel whenever they're using his product. So we'll move on to collaboration and concepts. It's crucial for user experience and UI teams to collaborate closely throughout the design process. While their focuses are different, their efforts are intertwined and complementary. What this is trying to say is that collaboration as a team would always happen between the UI and UX teams. In the standard companies, user experience teams are always different from user interface teams, but they work hand in hand using collaborative softwares. We'll move on to collaboration and further concepts. The first one will be wireframing. Wireframing is simply creating low fidelity, simplified visual representations of the interface to outline the structure and layout. The second concept will be prototyping. Prototyping simply means building interactive and clickable mockups that simulate the user experience and allow for testing and validation. This is what is being submitted to the software development teams for them to have a feel of how the app might look like. The third concept will be iterative design. The process of continuously refining and improving the design based on user feedback and test results. This is basically what iterative design means. The fourth concept we'll be talking about is user-centered design. User-centered design simply puts the needs and preferences of the users at the forefront of the design process, ensuring that the product meets their requirements and expectations. So, with that being said, I feel you have a clear understanding between the difference of user interface and user experience, which is UI UX. Remember, the boundary between UX and UI is not fixed, and there may be some overlap and responsibilities. It's important for both teams to communicate and work together to deliver a successful design that meets user expectations and business goals.